Yes, it is violent, and yes, I think somewhere the effects of it, somewhere मुझे थोड़ा सा लगा कि यार ये there was those underage boys posting photos and abusing and all that, so I got a little disturbed. I remember season 2 when it began. It was one of my first questions to Guru that I the script is great and everything, uh, and this is within the purview of my character. Um, you can call it me trying to like justify it somehow or whatever, but I think somewhere we decided, Guddu, because I can only do it for my part.
Sure.
I said, जहाँ जरूरत पड़ेगी ना, really जहाँ जरूरत पड़ेगी, वहाँ करते हैं. विनी द पू है तुम्हारा लड़का. विनी द पू इम्पोर्टेंट है, इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, हमारा लड़का है, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है. Oh my God.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. Today I'll be chatting with an actor who's extremely talented, extremely bindas, and right now internet is kind of crazy about him. We'll find out more why. Why is the internet crazy about you, Ali? Can you answer that question, Guddu Bhaiya?
Oh God. I think it's because we've ended up creating a bit of a monster out of something, and this Mirzapur has turned into quite a rage. Yeah, and it's also sweet because it's coming out of love. I remember, and it's very twisted love. It's हाँ, मतलब मैं कभी कोई पर्सनल फोटो डालता हूँ, फैमिली की फोटो डालता हूँ, उस पे भी एक दिन ना गाली वाली आ गई थी कोई, तो आई वेंट एंड आस्क्ड हिम, ऐसे भाई क्यों गाली क्यों दे रहे हो? नहीं नहीं, मैं प्यार में दे रहा हूँ सर, मोहब्बत, ये आपका मतलब डायलॉग है or something. So I said, listen, don't do all this, yeah, matlab. But yeah, I think people have really, I don't know. It's just also there's no point of reference. It's suddenly this series has behaved like one mega whatever piece, just blowing out of proportion. So yeah, there's like another fandom for it. There's a meme world for it. There's the whole
Yeah. And they are very serious about it. It's kind of crazy. A character that's given you so much love and sometimes probably hate as well, because there are people who will question the role and how appropriate it is. How has your relationship changed with the character from season 1 to season 2, or when you first got it till now?
I think it's a love hate, many ways. Because I mean, I'm not that in many ways. In most ways, I'm not that character. But yes, there is a part of me in it. There has to be, otherwise I'm lying. So, um, so yes, I won't identify which parts, but yes, there are
But you
glimpses
have
of
to
me.
tell me that.
Maybe I think yes, if I'm really pushed to the corner, that anger is something that is me. And I've I guess that, I mean, this is tooting my own horn, but I suppose, I mean, that the Guddu has this little charm in every time he's romantic with I mean, forget the charm, but I know that I'm a romantic, so at least that is something similar or in the same ballpark, maybe. I mean, I'm a hopeless romantic. I think I can. मैं तो बिल्कुल सारा दुनियादारी भूल जाता हूँ when it comes to just if it's
How
to woo
sweet.
somebody.
How sweet. With this immense love, you've also received criticisms at times from another part, which is, of course, a part and parcel of I think, being a part of any series or any film. You're among the few also. I remember you had taken a stand once saying that I will not be a part of any scene where I'll have to abuse a child. I think that is something that I will not do. And I think that was extremely interesting for me, because where do you draw the line and how often have you drawn the line here, Ali? Because people have questioned the fact that when you're trying to create a milieu, people do get carried away with the language or with the depiction of violence, or with it can sometimes get overboard, because that there is a fascination, especially in our country, with the language, with the abuses, and that's true. Where do you draw the line for someone who sort of made that decision once?
I think interesting, because the first time I saw the effect of Mirzapur, even though, and I see, this is the part where this is a constant dilemma, right, between the
Hmm.
artist and the person. The artist in me says, here we are, the same audience, we are gulping in, taking in with hordes of Western cinema and Game of Thrones and all that,
Yeah.
and we want ours to be out there with the same quality, with the same panache, with the same everything, So yes, the artist in me goes, okay, let's do that. And yes, there are parts in India where मतलब ऐसा लोग तुम हर सेकंड वर्ड में गालियां ऐसे
जी
बौछार की तरह निकलती.
जी
And then we did Mirzapur. So yes, it is violent. And yes, I think somewhere the effects of it, somewhere मुझे थोड़ा सा लगा कि यार ये, there was that those underage boys, posting photos and abusing and all that. So I got a little disturbed. I remember season 2 when it began. It was one of my first questions to Guru that, I the script is great and everything, uh, and this is within the purview of my character.
Hmm.
um, you can call it me trying to like justify it somehow or whatever, but I think somewhere we decided, Guddu, because I can only do it for my part.
sure
I said जहाँ जरूरत पड़ेगी ना,
Hmm.
really जहाँ जरूरत पड़ेगी वहाँ करते हैं. Let's try and avoid, let's see what happens.
Really?
So so
Really?
yeah, and I mean, we actually not a single abuse in season 2 from me, not a
What?
single. Yeah, there can be a badass without abusing. There can be also, in my little world, the way I justified it is that हम बिना सोचे गालियां दे देते हैं, और जब वही माँ और वही बहन आपकी लाइफ में नहीं रहते, आपके
Hmm.
सामने उनको गोली मार दी गई है, तब आपको उस गाली की अहमियत समझ में आती है.
Hmm.
तो
Hmm.
मैं उस दायरे से सोचा मैंने, तो मुझे लगा कि यार क्यों, जरूरी नहीं है, क्योंकि नाउ इट विल weigh on his head,
Hmm.
every time. And I think you won't miss it, because the way I've played it, I feel like I felt, in fact, we can convey those emotions. Of course, maybe here and there might have been maybe a something like that,
Huh.
but that's it. There's no, yeah.
Viewpoints given from the other side is that we are trying to establish a milieu, and within that milieu, of वो जो शहर है, यूपी है या कोई और शहर है, वो दिखाने वो जो लैंग्वेज है वो वैसी ही है. It's very interesting for me. It's very interesting for me that you actually got affected by that, because I think very few people did. I mean, there has been depiction, like Patal Lok is an amazing series, right? Again, I think it was brilliant. But I think that was questioned there, the depiction of sexual violence specifically. That was, how much is too much? That question
See,
was
but
asked
that's
there
the
as
thing
well.
ना, I don't know how much is too much. मतलब हम lines draw करने के लिए सबसे आगे बढ़ जाते हैं when we finally see something with quality come out,
Yeah,
right? For
yeah,
the longest time, we were subjected to, I'm sorry to say, but really horrible sexual
horrible.
comedy, और ये वो जो होती थी,
जी,
no, but कुछ चू नहीं होती थी, because
हाँ,
a learned critic would just reject it as, oh, but that's not the cinema I'm going to criticize. So you know what I mean?
you
It's
feel
a
the critics.
double edged.
You feel we
कि आप,
sometimes get tougher on the good quality products, which is not fair.
yeah, which is
Hmm.
fair. You
हाँ,
have to up the bar, but
correct,
then let it be constructive also at the same time. कि
correct.
भाई बनारस, not बनारस, but हाँ, in that large part of that belt,
Sure.
मतलब मोहब्बत में लोग इतनी गालियां बकते हैं, और जब गाली नहीं बकते हैं तो डर लगता है कि यार आदमी सीरियस हो गया है. So and it's true, like I wasn't aware of that. Like लखनऊ में you'd be surprised, मतलब अदब अदब नहीं होता है, आपकी ऐसी वाट लगा दी जाती है कि समझ में नहीं आएगा. So I'm saying every region, especially the north, has these nuances. I think the
Yeah.
idea is not to get carried away and to enhance it and make a point out of it कि भाई ये देखो हम गाली दे रहे हैं, ये देखो हम sex दिखा रहे हैं.
Hmm.
But if it can be woven in, seamlessly, then maybe we'll become a mature audience and a mature filmmakers and mature actors to be able to just carry that out
Yeah.
with responsibility. Because I see it, and I find myself a little fortunate enough to be able to also see it up close on the other side of the world,
Hmm.
where I think we've graduated as humans, as artists, not on the pretext of showing anything and doing anything, but we've
Hmm.
graduated to a point where we are now, um, we're focusing on quality and great content, you know
Yeah.
कि वो नहीं है कि सडनली एक 19 कुछ 1880 की हॉरर फिल्म आपको दिखा रहे हैं, उसमें 5 सेक्स सीन्स भी घुसा दिए हमने, और मतलब looks like some B grade cinema,
Hmm. Hmm.
where you're just doing that.
Yeah.
I
Titillation,
don't
which
know
they
why.
only done for titillation. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
think
fair
that
enough.
is what we need. That's it.
You get to now
We
have opinions because you really are popular, and you've really worked hard today to be you are. You're supremely talented. You're getting so many projects now, but you've also seen the time when I'm sure when you thought something should not be there, you were not taken seriously. Do you think that has changed, and how difficult was it for you earlier to have that conversation, to be taken really seriously?
I mean, that's just, I think that's the norm, right? It's hierarchy, I suppose, or at what stage in your career you're at where you're taken in as an actor for only your job and do your job and go,
Correct.
um, I think I think somewhere people start to realize, okay, you're bringing something to the table to hopefully enhance what we have on paper or lift it off the page. And so if there is a suggestion or two, maybe it's taken in, and sometimes it's rejected as well. But I work like that. I love collaborating because, like, my director for me is my guru. So
Hmm.
on set अगर वो मुझे थप्पड़ भी मार दे मैं ले लूंगा. मैं
Hmm.
वो नहीं हूँ कि मैं चौड़ में फैल जाऊंगा कि अबे
There's
तूने
no
कैसे ये
ego.
किया. But
There's no
there's
ego
no
here. It's just
yeah.
it's
I
a
mean,
discussion.
see, I'm human also, right?
Of
So
course.
yes, I have to constantly fight ego. I have to. There has to. It seeps in somewhere. Somewhere it comes in. But yes, there can't be. I think to be able to shed ego entirely is, I mean, is you're talking nirvana here. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
It's not possible.
we're all hopeful. We're not there, but at least एक attempt है कि to try and diminish that as much as we can, and be part
Yeah.
of it. I think I still have to be. I mean, I'm still hungry for great directors to scoop more out of me. I'm there, man. I'm game because there's some great work happening.
Major series coming out. You have a major international release. Rudrani, I mean, can we even talk about how big that is? It's crazy. And of course, like I keep saying all the time, it's representation all the way. This time it really sort of got highlighted that give a person his due. If a person is doing something, it is important that you highlight a person is representing our country internationally. That needs to come out. And I think Richa came into the picture as well. And I had a discussion with her about this as well, where she said, it's not okay to get catty, and whether it's the media, whether it's a lot of people out there. How do you look at that situation?
No, I know. I think it will change. That's why maybe I came across as unaffected. I know that it will. I know because I think somewhere, the kind of PR that we do, let's say outside, or not PR, I'd say just the way we perceive
Market
things is more
yourself.
selective. Huh? It needs to be more selective, right? We can't just go. Um, I don't know how to say this. It's like Frida Pinto right now
Ah.
is like Kohinoor from India,
Mm.
but उसकी चर्चा होती है इंडियन मीडिया में नहीं, right? She's worked with gods of
Yeah,
Hollywood,
yeah,
from Woody Allen to Terrence Malick to, I mean, it's nuts. Slumdog से शुरू किया,
correct,
it's crazy. So
correct.
I won't even go there, but so I don't blame, because what has happened is, from here, for the longest time we've only been subjected to what Indian आता है, एक part के लिए चला जाता है. you know this is just, it is what it is. It has been. um, so I suppose that it's like how we guys humans, we become cynical, right, over time. It's just that
Mm.
little cynicism that kind of stays. I
Yeah.
suppose that is in the reportage as well. I mean, I can hope that changes and we champion our own people more. We need to. Like I mean, I remember I got to know about Arjun getting an Emmy. I called him. I said, "Dude, this is like huge, right?"
Yeah.
Arjun Mathur was matlab, nominated for the
Yeah.
Emmys,
International Emmys. Yeah.
and I think that's yeah, and I think that's just amazing, amazing. That because it paves the way for like a lot of people, our own colleagues, maybe the next generation or whatever. I mean, एक खाता खुल जाता है. So artists like, I guess us, we get excited as opposed to अच्छा ये कैसे हुआ, शायद ज्यादा नहीं है, इतना ही है, ये तो
Yeah.
हाँ अभी ऐसे ही ज्यादा फैल रहे हैं, बाद में तो गिरेंगे ही. That pessimism, I think, comes, it's a very deep rooted, मतलब वो सोसाइटी के डिबेट में जाना पड़ेगा कि ये कहाँ से आ रहा है, एक पेसिमिज्म. आई थिंक दैट्स it's a start, and it's happening, I think. Yeah, I find myself lucky to be able to share stage with so many of them. I mean, it's such a great example of a diverse cast. It couldn't be better
Yeah.
than this. I mean, our cast is quite crazy.
It
So
is.
yeah, I think, and we were all normal with each other, right? Like it was the same respect for
Chill.
each and
Yeah.
every one, and it was chilled out. And I mean, I think all of us were more worried about our own characters and how, of course, our director, who's a legend in himself, was
Mm.
leading with example. Um, but I feel that time isn't far where we'll just be sitting across and you know it's one world, and I think that's been my biggest motive to be able to just be part of that bridging, the final bridging of us and that side. I think for a long time we lost that. Of course, we saw it in spurts with Irfan Bhai, with Om Puri Saab, starting with Shashi Kapoor, and of course, all the way down now to so many more actors who are doing stuff. Um, so yeah, I totally believe that'll happen one day. Already is.
How are you dealing with the trolling part of it? I know you've said that you let go, you probably don't check, but especially when your work comes out, and then you see that there is also another side of people saying boycott, this and boycott that because of what you've said otherwise in your beliefs. How does that affect you? And also, does that make you more wary of what you say? Because that's really, really sad.
I mean, it does make me wary when I'm 4 days away from a release that
Yeah.
is not just my release. It is a huge team that is releasing this. There are workers, there are people who are attached to this. There's a camera department, there's a light department, there's a makeup department, costume. These people are part of, I mean, for lack of a better word, have become part of a cult like Mirzapur, and they're all, waiting for this. The audiences are waiting for this. So when suddenly there's a machinery that decides to, throw that hashtag, then I mean, it's just, I try to just not, indulge it. And I think that's the right way, because we cannot, I think I've said this earlier as well, we cannot be sized up, and be measured by this, right? This can't be the measure of an entire society, an entire workforce.
What is your favorite character? You can't name yours, obviously. Which is one character that if you got to play and you would have done it? What fun would you have had with that character? What would you have done with something that you liked?
Like in a parallel universe, you're saying, right?
Of course, in a parallel, of course. I'm just a
Um,
hypothetical. Yeah.
huh. I would play. I mean, now that I've shot season two,
Huh.
I think I would play Golu's character, like Shweta. What Shweta's playing?
Really?
Um, yeah, Shweta or Rasika, one of those two. Of course, the setups are the same, But within that, those setups, I think what Puneet has done is he's managed to raise the bar in on so many levels, especially with all characters, but with the female characters, of course, with all the people feeling season one was not, rightfully theirs, which is again I feel was totally justified in many ways because that was the setup we were showing. But now you see the whole layout, and yeah, I think there's some interesting stuff to be watched.
Give me a word or something that you find very sweet. What is it that you find very sweet? Well, anything. Like, let's say any animal or something. Just random. Tell me anything that you find sweet and
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Okay. You'll have to give me your most interesting dialogues and replace every abuse, or if there's no
My
abuse in
God.
the dialogue, with Winnie the Pooh and tell me. Shall we do this?
I don't remember, yaar.
Come. It'll be fun. Just fun to see. Probably I can even show this to kids who never will never able to, who will never get introduced to Mirzapur. Maybe this is clipping for them.
Oh my God.
So Guddu
No,
Bhaiya, are you ready?
I'm totally ready. I'm just not ready with the dialogue because I don't remember the
Do you
dialogues.
want me
Oh,
to attack maybe gun, defense maybe gun, हम बनाएंगे मिर्जापुर को अमेरिका. ठीक है? Replace the word gun here with Winnie the Pooh.
attack maybe Winnie the Pooh.
But you have to be serious about it, na?
Attack maybe Winnie the Pooh. Defense maybe Winnie the Pooh. और हम बनाएंगे मिर्जापुर को हैमलीज.
शुरू मजबूरी में किए थे, अब मजा आ रहा है. The word maza has to be replaced by Winnie the Pooh.
शुरू मजबूरी में किए थे, अब विनी द पू आ रहा है.
It's kind of funny, right? Okay.
It's man.
I'm going to take some Pankaj Tripathi dialogue and make you say it, okay? Kalin Bhaiya.
So Winnie the Pooh gets replaced with
Yeah, correct.
विनी द पू है तुम्हारा लड़का. विनी द पू इम्पोर्टेंट है, इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, हमारा लड़का है, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है. Oh my God. What are you making me do?
I'm sorry.
Every time under 18 kids are watching the TV, like the TV should be smart enough to just add in like all these random toys ka names in all the abuses,
It'll be funny. My point is, why I said that? Like you're discussing about the love that you get. When the entire information came out about you being, you are not there in Bhoot Police and somebody else being, there was an entire discussion about how has Ali Fazal got replaced, which obviously was not. I'm sure you had your own reasons and things might have not worked out. So what happened there? Because everybody was like, oh, why is Ali Fazal not in it?
No, I think the makers, my dates didn't work out at the time. I remember I was shooting Death on the Nile. There was a delay. I think the production also changed in that meantime. I believe, I don't know, I think Fox was earlier, then later they weren't. I don't know. A lot of productions changed. So I got to know much later. But yeah, I mean, I suppose that's.
So you let go of it?
I let go of it. Yeah, I had to let go of it. What else do? I didn't have the required dates. There was a communication also issue between me and my director. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
That was one of the major reasons.
We'll chat soon again. I can't wait to watch the world that you've created, and that now that you've given me a little bit of feelers here and there, I'm really, really more excited. And all the very best, Ravi. Lots of love always to you, and lots of love. Take care.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.